going on, everybody? Sasquatch Wizard Adirondacks. So what do you all think in the next couple of years? Are the scientists gonna actually accept Sasquatch as a legitimate species? I wonder what the scientific name is actually gonna be. I think there's a outfit out of Stockholm, Sweden, I think it is. Stockholm, Sweden. I think I learned that from listening to Bobo and Pilates there. I'm pretty sure that's what they said, Stockholm, Sweden. That's where they actually give the really hard to pronounce scientific names to new species. I like how Les Stroud on his Wild Harvest show, well, that guy's a class act, but I like how he, for each plant that he harvests for the meal to be prepared, he not only gives the name, but he gives the scientific name, that's Les Stroud, guy don't miss a trick. He's a pro. Yeah, I love that show. I love watching that. You can just sense that Les is just having a good time in life right now. At least I really hope that's the way it is, and hope the best for him. Guy's really done a lot for all of us. Can you imagine a world without Les Stroud? Boys grow up, and you want to look up to certain people. Les Stroud is one of those guys that I would want my boy, if he's, looking up to some other famous person. I think Les is a class act. Does a great job. I'm not even going to show you that. There's this. Yeah, it just fell that way. There's just like X on a trail. I don't even really, honestly, I don't even think I really look for those too much. But, what do we got here? Partridge. Huh? That's taking off, yeah. Oh, partridge in a pear tree. But, oh, there goes. Oh, okay. All right. I know what's going on. We got babies. That was probably mama. There's probably other little ones kicking around here, hiding. So, the mom will draw all the attention and take off, so the predator will follow her while the little ones hide. But either way, yeah, I was, reflecting and thinking about when I went up in there last November and what had happened, and all of last summer. I remember when I first got up into the woods and started to become interested in researching this phenomenon. And from what I had seen, I really kind of was thinking to myself that, that there was just Sasquatch everywhere, that they're really everywhere. So here we are, can I say a couple years now? No, I can't really say a couple of years. We're, a year and so actually up in the woods researching. So I really honestly started researching the phenomenon by watching videos and looking up information about 3/4 of a year before. I say 3/4, let's be straight up and honest here. In the fall, going into winter is when I started researching, basically on YouTube. I remember the first time, I was like thinking, what can I watch? Nothing good to watch. And I don't know what, it just hit me. I was like, about Bigfoot. I just tapped in the word Bigfoot. Patterson Gimlin film comes up, and So I watched that, and then this one, and that one, and then this one, and that one. I'm like, what? And to think now, you know, that there's still people out there that really seriously just do not have a clue. And that they just pretty much think, yeah, that's just like a fable, you know? That some Bigfoot running around over there out west, that one that they think that they filmed. Well, aside all that, you know, as I got into this, I started thinking that, you know, that they were really everywhere, you know? And when I went up into research area 1, of course, started finding tree breaks that weren't really tree breaks, but I did have that experience where that something thudded the ground and pushed over a tree. And I had thought back to when I was in my early 20s and saw that what at the time I thought was an overly huge tall man running excessive amounts of speed across that field. Put one and one together. Okay, wow. Possibility is there that could have been a Bigfoot. And so that's where I went, first shot. And, you know, the tree getting knocked over. I mean, I guess when I was up in there, I was just thinking to myself, holy cow, as soon as it starts to get dark, they're going to be crawling all over the place out here. And now that I know what to listen for and what to look for, I'm going to see them. Wow, it's not that easy. And now, fast forward a year later, and here I am putting miles and miles and miles on these boots. And I still haven't seen one. It's no big deal though, you know. I mean, the only thing that gets me, okay, this is the one thing that I've been battling with, but I guess it's just like anything else. You got to work through the kinks to find the spot that you're comfortable with. And that has been the whole technology and filming and how you speak of this, how you portray yourself on YouTube and amongst anybody you're going to speak to about this subject. Understanding that there's a lot of seriousness to this, and you know, being a radical, I don't know what the word is for it, you know, being a joker doesn't set well with everybody because it is a serious subject. I mean, it is. We are on the precipice of the discovery of a species that's got a 16-inch foot, weighs 800 pounds, 1,000 pounds. Has been walking around in the woods all over North America and down south in Australia, Canada. This thing's been out there all this time, and like science doesn't have it wrote down in the book. That's crazy. And thank God that these things are the way that they are, because I mean, we'd have a rough time if they turned on us. I mean, whew. I mean, as strong and as fast as they are, imagine. I mean, life just wouldn't be the same. Something would have had to happen. We would have never gone on about life like this. Settlers would have come over here to America and started getting torn in half. And either they would have gone back on the boat and said, there's monsters over there, you can't go over there. And this place would have been forever wild. Or they would have brought an army over here to wipe the population out. But of course, I think like there was a time when the Indians were having troubles with these. So it's anecdotal references or in accounts that refer to Indians having wars with Sasquatch, indigenous people. So, and you go back. I don't want to get on that rant. Let me simplify that. So, believe whatever theory you want. My opinion is that every 12 to 14,000 years, our sun either hits everything in its solar system with a massive solar flare or micronovas, and there's a huge amount of events that lead up to, happen, and then happen afterwards, and one of which is an ice age, and then a thawing of that ice age. But in the meantime, continents crashing against each other, the land bridge up in between Alaska and Asia. I guess the scientists have, through mapping DNA, are starting to get things narrowed down to, like, the first primate, human, hominid, whatever, indigenous, Indian, yada yada, came across the land bridge, and look at all them freaking horseflies on there. Ooh, get off there, bud. And then came down into the United States, settled in the middle of the United States, Pacific Northwest, Central Pacific, and then further down south towards Mexico, Texas, and then, mammals are mammals, and slim pickings probably back then. Probably mate, have little ones, things get, mixed up, and, maybe civilization was more civilized at a rapid pace, more over towards the Middle East and Europe. And then by the time they sailed across the ocean and found the New World, they were really, Indians were the most civilized humans over here, but yet you still had the Sasquatch, and they were relics, Neanderthals type of situation. And, they stayed hidden. For whatever reason, they communicate amongst themselves the way they do, but they don't communicate verbally like we do, at least our language. And again, this is just, my opinion based on, things that I hear and then claim to know. But to think that civilization over here has come so far, 100-story buildings, underground subways, jets, commercial airliners, cruise boats, and rock and roll, the life, the dream, the American dream in the world, technology out the wazoo. And yet these guys the Sasquatch decided to stay up in the woods and evade humans and became the masters at it. And I think that they're up there. And the question is how many, right? I mean, you hear numbers based off of, people's research and collaborating with others. And and that is gonna fluctuate a lot until they finally get a body and start being able to, understand Sasquatch from the inside out. Hope that happens organically. And, someday that is gonna happen, and we are gonna start hearing the answers. I'm just gonna be fascinated with that. I'm fascinated with history as it is. Like, I just couldn't get enough of it. But you know, the population. I mean, look at where I'm going with it, you know. I mean, I'm developing a hypothesis that there isn't an overabundance of Sasquatch in the Adirondacks. When I think there isn't an overabundance, you know, if I was to think of it in the general area where I've lived, worked, traveled for work, up and down the Adirondack Northway and Route 28 and 9, let's get up into, say, Lake Placid, Keene Valley, down as far as, you know, out of the Adirondack, Saratoga, Albany, down in, headed for the Catskills. You know, you don't have to be in the Adirondacks to be into some, you know, nice wilderness area. There's wilderness area all over New York State. It's just the Adirondacks are a deciduous temperate rainforest. I think the only one in the United States, really. It's a very unique place. It's a beautiful place, but there's other habitats for Sasquatch, and they're all over New York and Pennsylvania. And I say all over. All right, let's get back to what I was saying. So I think if I could just dream it up and say, okay, look at my area, what I call my area. All right, stretches from up Lake George, up to Ticonderoga, Crown Point, Chilson Hill, back down Schroon Lake, well, you know, Paradox Lake, Eagle Lake, headed right back down, coming across Brant Lake, you know, Schroon Lake, all of Brant Lake, and you know, down to Warrensburg, cut back, cross over to Lake George, that big circle in there. I think it's like Amy's, part of it's Amy's National Forest or something, Wildlife Forest Preserve, and then there's Hoffman's up in there. And a lot of these places I haven't even, you know, I've hunted, haven't researched Sasquatch. I mean, there's only so much you can do. There's a lot of land out here for the Adirondacks. But, you know, I would think that if there is one family, you know, let's say grandma, grandpa, the dominant male, his harem of maybe 2-3 females, and 4 or 5 kids. Say there's 6, 8, 7 of them all together, and they cover that area. And maybe there is the same size family outside of that area in relative sized areas, and they kind of cross each other here and there and overlap. I by no stretch of the matter think that in the Warrensburg Township there's a family, in the Chestertown Township there's another family, in the Lake George region there's 2 families. You know, I don't think so. But either way, good chat. Sasquatch Wizard, waving my magic wand. And hey, if you like the video, hit the like button. Pump that algorithm. And if this is the first time you've ever watched one of our videos and all you think I do is ramble on, well, hit the subscribe button, and then when the bell icon comes up, hit all on the all bell so you get my notifications, and then go back and check out the rest of the videos. I mean, it's only uphill from here, right? I'm getting better at a steady pace, and I hope to continue to get better at the same steady pace. So God bless you all. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. See ya, see ya, see ya.